What is up, ladies and gentlemen? I'm Korrupted Judge, and welcome back to Helltaker the Second Circle. The game that I really don't want to end, but I'm gonna guess that this is probably the very last episode of us doing a gameplay. Then we're not gonna see this game again until the 4th dates come out. Oh man, I hate to see this game go. Anyways, guys, welcome to part 2 of Beel's third date. Back in part 1, I ended up having to record it like 2 times because my files got corrupted. I explained it all in the last video if you guys want to check it out. Link will be in the description to the part 1. Here in part 2, we're right to the point where I stopped, so everything else from here is completely blind. Enough gab, enough talk. Let's kick it a nickel. Taker, where are you? I'm over here, just resting by this wall. I'm not gonna bring you guys up to speed this time. If you guys want to figure out what happened last time, go ahead and check out the video, because I'm tired of explaining that video. I explained it like 3-4 times. Casting her light once more over the room, Beel joins you in sitting by the wall. And Rough Sketch Beel is back. Why does Rough Sketch Beel bother me? I didn't see any sign of more golems or whomever is controlling them. Did anything unusual happen while I was away? I mean, yes, but nothing untoward, but I think we've earned a break regardless. Reminds me, I had a few unanswered questions about your exile to this plane of darkness. Oh, and what might they be? Lucy told me what happened before you were exiled. Her version, I'm sure. Lucy doesn't know everything, though she likes to pretend otherwise. Okay, this part I can't explain. So if you guys weren't there for the Lucy third date part 1, we had this whole entire backstory for the 133 universe that they had created. And I gotta tell you, the amount of lore, the amount of answered questions and more unanswered questions, it's tremendous the way that went. I really recommend you guys go and check that out. But I can't necessarily explain everything. All I can say is Beel wanted the throne and Lucy did not want to give it up. So, you're trying to tell me you weren't planning on taking the throne away from her? No, well, not at first anyways. Is that supposed to reassure me? You were just bidding time until you decided whether or not to betray your queen? It's more complicated than that. We fought the 4 Lords of Hell under the assumption that we would make Hell a better place. However, I never fully trusted Lucy. She's always been one to let power get to her head, real bossy at the worst times. And just when we were emerged victorious, she went and declared herself Supreme Poobah of Hell. What the heck does Poobah mean? Oh man. Threw in some vindication of my fears, and we were dead set on a collision course. Vindication? What do you mean? Beel sighs. Oh, are we gonna get a whole nother flashback? Oh my god, if this takes as long as it is, then this is gonna be a 3-part date. I've never had a date that long. Following our costly victory, Lucy ordered the former lords cast out of Hell and into the mortal world. With no obvious outlets for regaining their stolen power, we thought it would be the last we would see of them. However, just before I threw that slimy demon of greed through the portal, she made a rather compelling argument. Oh my god, we are getting a flashback. Guys, you know what? I ain't gonna say nothing. Let's just see how this goes. I'm loving this. Wait. Before you throw me through, won't you at least hear me out? Ugh, fine, but make it quick. I forgot how much I loved young Beel. Her hair tied back too. And of course, I'm pretty sure by now, all you OG subs that are watching, you know the very specific spot that is truly capturing my interest. Sorry guys, I'm a degenerate. Why should she get all the glory, all the power? We've got to be more than a little envious. You've got to be a little more than envious. ... Ask yourself this. Who would you rather see sitting on the throne a century hence? A totalitarian despot, or an empathetic queen who's willing to adapt to new situations? So that's your angle? You want to sow the seeds of doubt in my mind in hopes of destabilizing Lucy? Oh, enemy mine. Why does she say it? Why does she say that? Why did she put mine at the end of certain words? I mean, it's an interesting quirk, I guess you can say, but at the same time, I'm questioning what it means. I think we both know I'm a little late to the party on that count. Dot dot dot. Well, I guess this is where we say goodbye, eh? Think about what I said. If you ever need me, you know where I'll be. Dot dot dot. Well, not much of a flashback, but it does shed a little bit of light to Beel's way of thinking. That's the long and short of it. Mayman has a way with words, whatever her faults. They burrowed into my mind and squatted there, impossible for me to ignore. Inevitably, I was forced to betray Lucy to quell my own raging conscience. That's not true. You were manipulated by that fox into questioning Lucy at the wrong time. This is all a misunderstanding between you and Lucy. I mean, so the way I see it, Lucy figured that Beel was going to betray her and then take the throne for herself. But according to Beel's side of the story, Mayman ended up putting those thoughts into her head, and then because there's a big misunderstanding because of Mayman, Lucy casted out Beel because her suspicions grew even greater. The best way to put it is almost Lucy's suspicions were almost as similar to James Ironwood from the Ruby series, volume 7 and 8, I think is the best way to put it, where James Ironwood basically went ballistic because he had too many fears and too many what-if questions that went on in his mind, and it made him go crazy and became a really big dictator, I guess is the best sense. Lucy had more of a calm demeanor, but because of all those questions of what if and what could happen or what Beel might do, she jumped the gun and casted her out. Manipulated, betrayed, even I'm not 100% certain how much of my decisions were fully my own. My favorite sprites again, the cleaner lines, the updated look. Dana O'Hara, that right there just shows the original design that they'd used to do and what they do now. You can tell that they've improved a lot over the years. Beel eyes you up, chewing on her lower lip. Well, is that a good enough confession for you? It's good enough for me. Now comes the time where I fulfill my part of the bargain. I learned something about the Abyss from Lucy. See? There, all the other sprites that I like so much. The animated blinking one, too. Beel talks right over you, squatting your declaration like an upstart caterpillar. Oh, but we have so much more to do. The West Wing needs retexturing. I'd like to repurpose the golem into an art installation and so much more. Right. Okay, I guess now is the best way for me to explain what's going on, because you guys aren't going to understand it too much now. In part 1, we found out that the creature or monster from part 1 was actually one of Beel's puppets, or I guess Welted's puppets in a sense. And sorry guys, I'm pretty sure I'm still going through heartburn from last time. I don't know what it is. What they ended up doing is coordinating this plan to make it seem like there's these monsters that are feeding off magical energy, and the strongest magical energy is when they create portals to get out of the world. So that means they're not able to open any portals without this creature trying to kill them. However, the creature is actually being controlled by Welted and Beel, as Beel's way of trying to keep Taker here. That's the best way I can put it. Taker ended up finding out about it, and now he's just going along with it for however long he can. Nope, that's pretty much the gist of it. Now you guys are up to speed. Besides, I'm sure your discovery can wait until we've seen to the more immediate issue. I have a list somewhere around here. Wait here while I go get it. You can tell how. Hold that thought. Despite your protestations, Beel assumes her visage and buzzes off into the black sky, undoubtedly heading for one of the uncountable towers that hovered overhead. Okay, she turned into her big fly form. Stuck on the ground, you kick at a piece of rubble, frustrated. Oh, I thought like another monster was coming. Okay. What was I gonna say? Dang it, I forgot. Great. And I'm gonna end up editing and I'm gonna remember what the heck it is. Well, oh well. Oh, Welted. He's buttoned up his shirt. I don't know why, but he looks really weird. And he has a hat now. A polite cough sounds behind you, and you turn around to see Welted standing there unamusingly. Maintaining unflinched eye-to-eye socket contact, he raised his hand and coughs again. Sigh. Can I help you with something, Welted? The old skeleton nods soberly. Sir, if you'll forgive my lapse in priority, or property, I don't know. I overheard you trying to broach a particular topic of conversation several times with my lady. If I may ask, are you planning to propose marriage to her? Bruh. No. Would I marry Beel? You guys all know that Judgment is my top pick. So if I have to choose between Beel and Judge, I'm gonna go with Judge. No offense to anybody like that, that's just my mindset. I'm sorry. But would I marry Beel since she's the only one in the void? Absolutely. But that's not what we're trying to talk about. The question hits you like a sucker punch, knocking you off guard. Your reply comes out jittery and unfocused, thrown by Welted's suggestion. What? No. I just wanted to. Saving it from yourself, Welted smoothly steamrolls over your, sputtering, a reapproached tone creeping into his voice. If that is the case, I must advise you to temper your expectations. My lady cares for only one thing, an escape from this prison. Actually, that's exactly what I wanted to talk to her about. I think there may be a way for her to escape. It might even work for you as well. Ooh, that looks... Why does that low-key look creepy to me? The way he was, like, so, gentle looking, and now he looks like that. That felt weird to me. Walter slowly turns to face you. Eye sockets widening. It might be just your imagination, but perhaps there's a slight tremor in his voice as he gently takes your hand, his voice hushed. You're quite sure? Sir, I must advise you. If you've brought my lady some false hopes sprung into a fairy tale, I'm afraid I may have no choice but to remove you from the premises. It's the truth. I got it directly from Lucy herself. Welted snorts, twin clouds of dust shooting out of the slits where his nose used to be. The one who ordered her imprisonment, hardly a reliable source of information. I think she was telling the truth. She had no reason to believe she would live out the night. What motivation would she have had to lie? Oh my god, this is gonna get me a lot. I think one of the golems are ready. An awkward crunch heralds the return of Beel in her fly form. The transformation quickly unravels, leaving Beel hauling a sack many times her own size, slowly over to you and Welted. I couldn't find the list, but look at this. Turning the sack upside down, Beel unceremoniously dumps the contents onto the ground. Balls, wickets, hammers, nets, and all sorts of alien game pieces scattered across the ground. I found all my early designs for a sport of my own invention. Beelzeball! Yo, why does that sound actually really fun? The name alone makes it sound really fun. Beelzeball? Yo, if someone's played this game and there's legit a fan game sport that they call Beelzeball, I'm gonna find it and I'm gonna play it. I need the content, and I know you guys like Helltaker. Just wait, you'll love it. First thing you do is... Uh-oh. Welted steps forward, placing a placating hand upon Beel's shoulder. My lady, I'm sure Master Taker would like nothing better than to play more of your games. However, I believe you need to hear what he has to say. I believe he has found some definitive information regarding a possible escape from this dimension. Oh, that's Old Hat. He'll tell me later. Isn't that right, Taker? It's that old school pose that I like from the old sketch. Beel, why are you avoiding this answer so tendencyingly? I'm almost convinced you don't want to hear it. Oh, it's the sad Beel again. I remember this one. I haven't seen this sprite since her second date. Beel slumps forward. My lady, you have been searching for a way to escape this place for so long, hoping against hope that there's a flaw in the prison. Hearing what Master Taker has to say will allow you to know if your hopes are warranted. Hope. Hope's all I've had for comfort in my entirety here. What do I do if your information takes that away from me? Enjoy your fleeting visits until you too pass from this world? I mean, that is kind of a fair assumption. Taker isn't a demon or an angel. He can still die. But the question is, how many sins has he committed to go into either heaven or hell? From what I can remember, it takes only one sin for you to go down to hell. So, if he's committed at least one, which I'm going to put as the sin of lust because, well, I'm judging the sin of lust because he literally went to hell and took an entire harem. So maybe he goes down to hell and becomes a demon, and then basically they spend their whole lives together. Something like that. The problem is he wouldn't be able to access Beel anymore, I'm guessing, if he doesn't decide to stay. So if this day gives us the option to stay or go, that's going to be really interesting, and that's going to be a hard decision for us to make. Maybe it's better to lie to myself and keep searching for a way out on my own. Better an eternity of foolish hope than an eternity of, what? Endless nothing? And what if it's good? Huh. And what is it? And what if it's good? My life hasn't been good for eons now. Why should it have cause to change? So what? There's a way to circumvent one of the most powerful pieces of magic ever conceived? Good luck selling me on that one. Is that really what you want? To live in fear of the truth? No, you're stronger than that. Stop hiding from the future, Beel. Fine then. Tell me what you've learned. Wow, that was easy. There is a way out of the abyss, according to Lucy. She said a key would make itself known to you, given the right circumstances. Welted puts a hand on Beel's back. His voice bursts with barely contained excitement. My lady, this is stupendous news. We must renew our efforts to secure your escape. This key must be found if you are to win your freedom. Beel steps backwards, hugging herself. No, I'm not sure. The skeleton puts a hand on his mouth, aghast. But, my lady, this is what you've dreamed of all these millennia past. A chance at freedom. A chance to take revenge on those who wronged you. What could possibly compel you to throw all that away? If she says me, even if I were to return, who would welcome me back? I have no reason to believe any of my old friends would accept my companionship once more. Welted places a bony hand on Beel's shoulder, his voice like iron. Then you take back what they stole from you, an eternity. Who among them could stop you doing whatever your heart desired? I'm more than just a petulant child, Welted. Nothing good would grow from the fires my envy would light, just more pain. Instead of me taking what they hoard, my return would herald me inflicting what I saw. Oh my god, why can't I read? I don't know what it is. Beelzebub's dialogue, she speaks like really fine and fancy, but at the same time it's like a bit of old English mixed into it. It's so hard for me to read. The Crimson Demoness shakes her head sadly. I can't force people to love me, and I must learn to accept my place in this world, as well as the beings that share my horizons. Seeking revenge at this point would just lead to more of the same. If that's why I would escape, then here is where I should remain. Welted steps back, something almost resembling a smile gracing his bony features. He sighs, a sound that speaks of the relief of uncountable millennia. Reaching out, he clasps Beel's hand with his own. His words bubble with joyful pride. Well answered. Congratulations, my lady. Truly, you are not the monster we feared you might be. An innocuous sound made conspicuously only by the absence of others. Faintly reverberates throughout the room. I can't read. Confused, all three of you turn to the source. A single, uh, a single finger bone lays on the ground, slowly crumbling into ashy powder. No, Welted, what's happening? Presently, a second falls to join the first. As one, you and Beel look up at Welted. The skeleton has a sheepish, almost apologetic air about him. Even as you watch, the sleeves of his outfit begin to fray, adding quickly to the growing heap of powder on the ground. Oh dear, it seems my contract has indeed expired. Yo, the music! This is the same music from Zedrada's third date. No, this is a sad thing, isn't it? After all these years, if you'll permit me a bit of a cheek, my lady, I never thought I'd see the day. Shocked out of her stupor, Beel speaks, her voice catching in her throat. Welted, what's the meaning of this? I command you to stop, right now. Pull yourself back together. Her protestations are brought to a halt by Welted, who politely holds up a disintegrating palm. His voice comes out a little slower than usual, and a little quieter. You can tell the effort of speaking is costing him. No! No, please, no. Welted, no. My lady, I must apologize. For centuries... Oh man, hang on, I gotta take my glasses off. For centuries, I have been a prisoner, and not once were you introduced to your jailer. I was tasked with tending to your needs, if and until you were deemed fit to re-enter society. It appears my career has reached a rather conclusive end. No way. Welted, please. I've only known her for like 3 dates and this honestly hurts. Is there anything we can do for you? The aged skeleton slowly shakes his head. Even as he does so, wisps of hair drift down from his head. I'm afraid not, sir. It was my job here that was holding my old bones together. Now it seems that you've no more need for me. Well, that's not true. We'll always have need for you. Alas, it seems my retirement is at hand. Welted attempts to straighten himself up, brushing the fast accumulating dust off his shoulders. With a crunching sound, his arm disconnects, falling to the floor with a muffled thump. He sighs, then turns to Beel. My lady, whatever my assigned task may have been, serving you has been the greatest pleasure I have ever known. If you would be willing, might you assign me a final task before I rest? Beel steps forward, embracing the worn-down skeleton in his arms. Holding him securely, she nuzzles the worn skull in the crook of her shoulder. Of course I can. ... Welted, you have done your task better than any butler ever has. Please, go in peace. Welted's voice is barely audible, no more than a whisper. Why, of course, my lady. Your wish is my command. Oh my... This isn't necessarily something that I need right now, if I'm honest. The music doesn't help either. The old skeleton collapses in on himself. Old bones, petrified by untold millennia of service, crumble to dust. A sigh, almost of relief, stirs the ash pile at your feet, while his voice, faint and fading fast, whispers to no one in particular. Ah, my job is done, and what a job it was. From the pile of dusty remains, a small glimmer of gold winks out at you. Kneeling, you gently feel around the pile. Your hand closes around a small, rounded object. Standing again, you dust it off. A small golden key shines in the palm of your hand. So that's what Lucy meant when she said the key would make itself known to you. I didn't expect it to be so literal. You extend your arm to Beel, offering her the key. No. I'm not ready to go there. Not yet, anyways. I'm not sure how I feel about Lucy. Besides, someone's got to take care of his remains. Would you like me to stay with you? I know how time works here now. It wouldn't be any trouble. Beel shakes her head. Kind of you to offer, but no, I'm fine. I think this is something I need to do on my own. I'll depart the abyss when I'm good and ready. With a gesture, the portal home springs to life in front of Beel. Before you can take your leave, you press the golden key into her hands. When you're ready, we will be waiting. Turning, you leave the abyss for what you hope will be the final time. Hey guys, I just wanted to say thanks for playing our game. It means a lot to us. Writing by Owen Nagler and Morgan Day. CGs and sprites are drawn by Dana O'Hara. Character animations were created by Void.exe and Lang Rico. This is all the credits. I'll just set it to auto for you guys. Inspiration for scenes provided by Amadeus Films. Guys, I wasn't ready for such an emotional episode. I really wasn't. It's hard. It's hard to put into words. There's so much that's been put together here, guys. I'm gonna be honest, and I wasn't ready for that kind of ending. There's not much I can say, guys. This has been the final episode until the hiatus, and I gotta tell you, I really wish that the game didn't end, or at least pause like that. I want to thank all of y'all for following me on this journey. Some of you might think it's kind of silly that I'm kind of tearing up over some fictional character, but thank you all for joining me on this journey. There's still a couple things that we need to wrap up in this game. I'll come back and take care of some other choices that I didn't do, and there's a couple choices that I'm sure you guys want to see. And of course, there's also going to be the third day recap and review. But yeah. With all that said, guys, I'm the Korrupted Judge, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See you around.